you?
Yep, I'll just hold it up here like this.
All right.
There we go.
All right. Welcome back, Brevard and beyond. And now it is time to check in with Ken Corn from the Veterans History Museum of the Carolinas. Good afternoon, Ken.
Good afternoon. What a sunny afternoon outside. It's so beautiful out there. It's still a little chilly, though.
It is a little chilly. Now, do you have school-age children at home?
I sure do. I've got one. I call him the light at the end of the tunnel. He's my fourth child. So
oh boy.
Yes, I had to get him. It was still a 2-hour delay this morning, though, so I still had to get him up and get him ready to go and that sort of thing.
Oh,
so.
Good. At least you get a little break then.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I know. Well, he's been at home for the last 3 days because of all this snow and everything else. They don't take any chances. That's for sure.
Now, Ken, could you remind folks what you do over at the Veterans History Museum?
All right. Well, I sit on the board over there, and the Veterans History Museum is just this little jewel that we have here in downtown. It is a totally free museum. You know, folks come in, they visit, they look at the shops, they go over to O.B. Taylor's, of course. And then, you know, if there's, you know, some fellows or whatever and their wives are out shopping and stuff, it's a perfect place to come in. Yeah, come in. Come on in. Hey, guys, come on in. I mean, it's not just for guys, obviously. Yes. But, we have bottled water and coffee, and we invite everybody just to come in. And all the docents are veterans.
Oh, yes.
I'm the only civilian in the whole crowd.
Oh, yeah.
I am. I mean, I have a little bit of experience because I was a journalist, but, you know, I'm the only civilian. And they just have so many stories, so many things to say, you know.
Right,
I mean, we're talking Vietnam, you know. We just lost Harold Wellington, our World War II veteran. He used to be there every single day, and I would say, kids, come here and take a picture with this guy, you know, because you know, so many are leaving us.
Yes.
And he was 100 years old.
I remember. He had some great stories.
He had some great stories about being on a ship and everything else.
Oh, yeah.
And then getting, you know, he was on a merchant marine ship during World War II. And then after he served in World War II, they drafted him.
Oh, yeah.
Because they said, oh, well, you were on a merchant marine ship. That was still considered civilian service.
Were you serious?
I mean, it's not now, obviously, but you know, it was still, and he got drafted. So, so he went to Korea.
Well, now, so I understand there's a little remodeling going on in the museum.
Absolutely, yes. We closed our doors there the last week in December, right around New Year's Day, and so we take 2 months off during the winter time, and we go in and all year long we're planning things. Okay, we're going to do this during our 2 months off. We're going to do this. We're going to do this.
Right.
Because we always, you know, turn over, make it new for everybody. Especially, I mean, we have a lot of repeat visitors and stuff, not just folks that are coming to visit the town too.
Right.
And you know, a lot of folks do. They you know. Visitors or whatever, I mean, they come up here repeatedly. Like one of our displays was donated to us by a guy that he lives down in Atlanta, and he likes to come up here and do mountain biking and stuff like that.
Right.
So, and he comes up every single summer, and he stops in and he visits and looks at the display of his father's stuff that he donated to us. Yeah, absolutely. So,
goodness.
So we try to make it new, you know, and we have our curator, Bobby's only been with us for about 2 years now.
Yes.
So he's constantly coming up with new ideas and stuff like that. So we have a couple of different projects going on. One of the projects that we're currently working on is the Judge Jack Matthews Library remodel. So Judge Matthews, he was a prominent Transylvanian and, you know, worked up at the courthouse quite a bit.
Okay.
You know, if you got in trouble, you got to go see Mr. Matthews.
I never met him.
Yeah, that's right. So,
maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, we're trying to stay out of that. But he retired several years back, and when he retired, he sold his house here in Transylvania County and decided to move down to Florida full time. And selling his home, he had an entire book. I mean, he was a World War II, World War I, any kind. He was a military nut, I guess you would say. He had all kinds. Yeah, he had all kinds of books and everything like that. So we picked up his collection when he moved out of his house in Transylvania County. We picked up his collection. I think that was about 20. I think that was 16, right around the time we were opening. So
wow,
he gave us and donated all his books to us. And of course, the sale of his house. There's a camp here in Transylvania County that the Judge Matthews. Camp for boys and girls and that sort of thing. So they got the house, we got the books. So
hey, but that's a good spot for them.
Exactly.
You've got a library too, I understand.
We have the whole library. So let me talk a little bit about Judge Matthews. He actually served in the Navy from 1954 to 1957. Okay. And he made the rank of lieutenant. Oh, nice. And he served on the USS Tarawa. It's named after one of the battles in World War II. Okay. So he served on an Essex class aircraft carrier, and that was right after the war, obviously, 1954, 1957. And but while he was in the Navy, he also went to it's called the let me find it in my notes. He was enrolled in the U.S. Naval School for Naval Justice. Oh. So I guess that's where he got his start in the justice system.
Yes.
So he earned a certificate and a distinction as an honor student in 1955 as from the Naval School of Naval Justice, U.S. Naval School for Naval Justice.
Sounds like a smart fella there.
Exactly, yeah. And so inside the library, we have a picture of Judge Matthews in his lieutenant's uniform, and also we have the certificate that he earned from the Naval School for Military Justice or Naval Justice, also together in the room there, along with a couple of other little artifacts with Judge Matthews. So. Just this past, let me flip over here. Just this past fall, his wife, Mrs. Matthews, came in, and she comes in and visits every once in a while. I guess she still comes up to Transylvania County from Florida to visit family and stuff, and she always comes in and visits with us. Yeah. She gave us a sizable donation to remodel the entire library.
Oh, that is good news there.
So that's what we did. We took the donation that she gave us, and we ordered a bunch of new bookshelves because everything in there was kind of mismatched, that sort of thing. Yeah. So we're in there making it just beautiful and everything else. So we're got the bunch of the guys, and I've posted a couple of videos of the guys in there working, and all these guys, like I said, the veterans, the docents. They want something to do during those 2 months off as well. Oh, so, they came in and, we're going to put all this stuff together. And we're, redoing and cataloging all the books. And if you're local here in Transylvania County or even in Western North Carolina, you can come by, you can check out a book.
We jump started on it.
You already started something there.
That was unintentional, but you brought us a video
you
today.
You got those fingers over the keyboard and keep tapping
just
stuff.
Ready to go.
You're ready to go. So, but yes, we will get to that here in just a moment. But she came up and gave us a sizable donation. We're redoing everything on the inside with new bookshelves. Everything's going to be the same color and uniform and all that kind of good stuff. But I mean, it's there's books in there. I'll just throw out a couple of names. The Band of Brothers by Stephen Ambrose. Oh. We have books like that. We have like Flags of Our Fathers. We have Letters from Iwo Jima. A lot of great books in there, and some of our docents. I'm going to start here with we're going to play a soundbite here in just a second with U.S. Navy veteran Mike Johnson. It's ready.
It's ready.
I'll give you the go-ahead to hit that. Let me explain a little bit about Mike here right quick. Yes. So he's one of our docents. He is was in the Navy, and he was a mechanic that worked on submarines and stuff like that. And he was telling me in this soundbite, he goes, I did maintenance on a lot of these submarines and that sort of thing, and I had no idea where they were going, what they were doing. Yeah. He goes, I actually learned about some of the missions that, this is during the Cold War, some of the missions that they went on from the books that are in our library. So so it's just a huge wealth of knowledge in there, and we encourage, you know, our students here in the county to come by, our ROTC kids, whoever needs to come in and do research. I know it's easy to do it on the internet, but there is just something about having a book in your hand. And Mike explains that a little bit in this soundbite. So we'll go ahead and take a listen to the soundbite. Now, Mike, you get a lot of books out of there. I see you every week. You come in here, you pick out a book. What have you found in there?
History. I love history, World War II, World War I, Vietnam, Korea, all that stuff. We've got so many books on history and what all the different events that went on during those eras that I love to just sit down and read it. Now that I've got retired, I got time. I can sit down and really go through. I've got my father-in-law was in World War II, my neighbor was, and all of them were in specific battles that I go and I research. We've got so many books back here that detail those events. It's a blast because I'm really learning a lot of what I didn't know. I knew but didn't know, and so it's enjoyable.
And then having this resource of knowledge.
Yep.
Even you being a veteran, you're still learning something.
Still learning stuff. I spent probably 12 years working on nuclear submarines, repairing nuclear subs. I didn't know a lot of what was going on with those ships during my time. Now I do, because we got books in here that tell me what they were doing, the exact ships that I was working on.
Wow.
I knew what their missions were now because of a good example is that Blind Man's Bluff book. Talks about the era from the 70s, the 60s, 70s, and 80s of what those submarines were doing. And I was working on them, but I didn't know what they were doing. They wouldn't tell you anything. We tried to get them to tell us what they were doing. They were very good about not to give us their little...
But you found out about it in a book in our library.
In a book. One book out of here that talks about, it was written in 48, 49, came out. And it talks about all the World War II submarines and really detailed where they went, the missions they were on, and how all the decisions were being made during that time. So, yeah, I'm learning a lot, loving it.
Now, Mike.
All righty, so there we go. That was quite the interview. We can find that on several platforms as well, can't we?
Oh, yeah, that's on our YouTube page as well. So the museum does have a YouTube page. It's the Veterans Museum, or the Veterans History Museum of the Carolinas. You can just go to YouTube, punch that in, and it'll bring up a lot of the videos and stuff. And you'll see a couple little short videos of us working in there and stuff like that. We were working in there just before I came down here. We were working in there, so I'll be putting up another video here pretty soon about the work that we were doing today. And obviously, you know, I'm going to have a before and after picture and that sort of thing, so you can see what it looks like. But you know, he really explains. I mean, we have books that do date back to the 40s.
Right.
I mean, we have, you know, some original books and that sort of thing, so it's really a treasure trove of stuff.
Now, if somebody would like to help with the renovations, can they do that?
Well, no, our volunteers are doing that because we're closed right now and that sort of thing. But I mean, you know, if they've got some books that they want to get rid of, they can bring them down. Yeah, I mean, you know, as long as they have some kind of military theme or, you know, that sort of thing.
Right.
And if they, you know, are wanting to clean out a little bit, and so we'll take that off their hands for them.
Got it.
But just be excited that, you know, when March rolls around, we'll be back open, and you know, we'll have the nice. And we do have future plans for this. We actually applied for a grant. It's actually going to be our research center as well. We're hoping to get a grant to get a video camera and that sort of thing set up, so we can do. Like a lot of the folks that are coming through now, a lot of the veterans that are coming through now are Vietnam veterans.
Oh, lots of stories
yes,
there.
Yes, lots of stories. I mean, they're you know, they're hitting their 70s now. They're in their 70s. Some of them are even hitting their 80s now. So they are the World War II, you know, veterans of our generation. So we need to get their stories and get that preserved as well. So we encourage those guys, come on in March, We got a map up on the wall. We let you put a little pin where you served on the map and that sort of thing. and then we'll get your story and all that kind of good stuff. So it's a great resource that we have here in downtown Brevard. So.
Now, until March, can we still visit the website and make a donation
of course,
to the
yes.
cause?
The website's always open.
Okay.
Our social media, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and of course YouTube and the website. So you can find us 4 different ways. We got all kinds of resources on those platforms as well.
Yeah.
And we want to be a digital resource as well. So
Right.
yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Please
great.
visit
you, veteransmuseum.org, theveteransmuseum.org.
That's right. That's
All
right.
right, Ken.
That's it.
Well, I think our time may be up here today. So.
I could just keep on talking if you want me to. I mean,
we got Tamika on next here, so we need to make some space. But it is so great seeing you here today,
thank you so much.
And we'll check back in again next month.
Sounds great.
You have a good day now.
You too.
Thank you. All right,
there
there's
we
our
go.
danger zone. And we're clear. All right.
Very nice.
There we go.
Very cool.
Now, I have a bunch of letters from the 1950s that my father wrote home.
Oh, nice.
And I need to figure out the best way to preserve them. I'm thinking I could probably just slide them into plastic sheets in a notebook.
Yeah.
That would be all right, unless y'all have extra, like, ideas. But, yeah.
I tell you the truth myself. I've got letters that I haven't even gone through yet. They're still in a shoebox that I need to go through. I mean, it's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye. We'll see Trina next.